Yo, what's going on, guys? Tara Wow here on Disc Priest, telling you guys what I think about it right now, currently in Dragonflight pre-patch, and what do I think it's going to be like in Dragonflight at level 70. Do I think it's going to be good, and do I think it's good right now? Right now, we have a little bit to look at. Our talents, this is what I'm running right now. About this talent build, I'll link this in the description in the comments. You know, if you want to check it out, you can check it out, import it into yours, use it. This is not exactly what I'm going to be using into Dragonflight. Of course, we'll have 5 more points on each row, and then, yeah, that's pretty much that. So what I've been thinking about is I've been hearing a lot of people say Discipline does not do that much damage as it did in Shadowlands, and I was agreeing with them 100%, and even said it on one of my videos. I was like, this feels weird, we're not doing that much damage, but we got some changes. And now that I've actually thought about it and played a little more, I'm disagreeing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna disagree. Damage for Discipline is different. It's different, but it's just as good, if not better. Depends on, but we'll have to see. But for right now in the pre-patch, it's pretty good. It's really good. So for the example, this is a Warsong Gulch. I topped the healing by far, 4.7 mil compared to 3.8, but my healing was 1.8 mil, 38%, 42 or 43% of atonement healing. Atonement healing, that's my damage converts into healing with people that have atonement on them. So I was doing big atonement healing. I usually only do like 30%, big at 30% in Shadowlands. So that's telling you something, that I'm doing damage. So if we go look at my damage, I'm at 4th place on the battleground. You know, there's some messed up things like this Guardian Druid being number 2, but number 1 being a Warlock by far. I'm on number 4 at 2 million damage, and it used to be in Shadowlands we were doing a lot of damage with our penance, and that's not the case anymore, because we had a 4 set where every time we pressed Radiance we would get our penance empowered 100% of the time by power of the dark side, our 4 set, and then we would get a 60% chance with our legendary to get a big penance. So we would be doing big penance damage. How simple is that? We would be doing big damage on penance, and now it's not as much damage on penance, and we get more damage from Purge the Wicked. Well, we don't get more damage, it's easier to keep up in battlegrounds at least, and in arenas it will be just the same. We can probably spec out of that talent in 2s, even 3s probably. And then Cathris, we are doing big damage in arenas though. This is in Dragonflight. We're not going to be able to run the actual pennant on legendary. We will have it implemented into our talents, so this number will actually be lower than what it looks like. It'll probably be like 15 to 20%, which is sad because penance is my favorite ability. It's my favorite ability is disc, you know? That's really fun ability. It's really fun to see a machine gun just shooting. So it's going to be lower than this. And then we have Purge the Wicked. It will be lower in arenas too. And then Cathris, it's going to be lower in arenas too. So because we're not getting trained in arenas. If we are getting trained in arenas, then Cathris will be just as high, if not higher than this 22%. It'll be big damage. You know, that will be our big damage. If we're facing a dot team, then this will be pumping, of course. And then, yeah, so damage in Battlegrounds is not a problem at all right now. It's really good in Battlegrounds, but our atonement healing with these recent changes, it's going to make it a little different. So in arenas, we're struggling with damage. Battlegrounds, we are not struggling at all. We are doing more than fine in Battlegrounds. If not, I would say we're doing a little too fine in Battlegrounds, and we're doing a little not as fine in arenas from my experience. So what they did to fix this is they have some changes that have not been implemented yet. They're in the beta, they're still buggy right now. I tried one out, it is a little buggy, so they're fixing it right now. It's not in pre-patch just yet. And that is the talents Sins of the Many. I'll cover this right here. Sins of the Many, your damage is increased from 6%, which is actually 12% if you put 2 in the talent, going up to 30%, diminishing for each ally affected by your atonement. So that means you have 30% baseline damage right there. Not baseline, but you have 30% damage, and then the more people you're healing, the less damage you do. So that's going to nerf our nerf it in here. I'm sorry. I should go over this first too. Trinity, your atonement is going to heal from 50% of your damage down to 40%, and then you're going to Sins of the Many. So we got a nerf on atonement healing, and then an increase on damage with less people. So what that's going to do is in Battlegrounds we're not going to have as much atonement healing, which so we're getting a nerf in Battlegrounds, but we're getting a buff in arenas big time with damage. And also I've noticed on the beta, let me go to the beta real quick, the Sins of the Many got replaced with Blaze of Light on the talent tree. So we no longer have the option to pick Blaze of Light because it got implemented in here. The damage got nerfed by 15%, but now we have that and Sins of the Many, and the movement speed got increased by 10% on it. So I think I'll actually kind of like this change. We're always going to have 15% damage on our penance. So we're getting a 15% damage based on our penance, and we're getting going from 12% to 30%. And I'm actually not even running Sins of the Many on retail right now on the pre-patch because I don't have enough talent points for it. But yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more damage in 2s and 3s, and I really like that. I think that's where we were struggling, and they fixed it. They didn't do a weird fix either. They did a really good fix. They seen we're overperforming in Battlegrounds. We want to give other healers a chance, and we see that we're underperforming in arenas in the way that we supposed to play. We're supposed to be a damage class. We're a mixture between holy and shadow. It's discipline. We're supposed to have shadow spells, and that's gonna get in my next point of flash heal. We lost Shadow Mend. Oh no. Let's cry. No. That's what I was thinking about at the start, but let me talk about this for a second. So in Shadowlands, if you can remember, we had Shadow Mend instead of Flash Heal, and because of that, we could sit there with 2 melee on us and we could spam Shadow Mend, and they really did not want to kick us at all. And the reason being is because right after we'd get kicked, we could cast on Holy, so we would literally just get kicked on that, and we would Radiance, we would Rapture, we would Penance, we would Dome, we would press literally any button in our spellbook while we just got kicked on a heal. It's kind of ridiculous. It was strong. I liked it. That's why they took it away from us, because it was strong. It was real strong. And there's games that I should not have won that we won because I was just sitting there spamming Shadow Mend and they would not kick me. And they just did not do anything the entire game. We were just sat there. And really, do I think this change is big? Yeah, I think it is pretty damn big. But they gave us things to make up for this. Flash Heal. So they gave us Flash Heal. We were able to get kicked on that. But now we have Translucent Image, which we had in Shadowlands for a Conduit. It was 13% reduced damage at max Conduit item level, but it only lasted for 5 seconds, the damage reduction. Now it lasts for 10 seconds, the whole duration of Fade, and now we can get Improved Fade, which reduces the cooldown by 5 seconds. So 20-second cooldown, 10%. 20-second cooldown on a 10-second, 10% damage reduction. We're taking 10% damage reduction for 10 seconds on a 20-second cooldown. That's what I'm trying to say. But then you could complain, but we had Masco Schism, or however you say it. Whenever you get Shadow Mend, you would take 10% reduced damage for 10 seconds. Well, we still have that. We have Protective Light. Casting Flash Heal on yourself reduces all damage you take by 10% for 10 seconds. You replace that from Darkness Comes Light though, so this is going to be like more of a, obviously if your teammate's getting trained, you're going to run from Darkness Comes Light. I'm going to run this pretty much all the time, unless you're getting trained by melee, then of course you would want to run Protective Light, most definitely. So you're taking 20%, you can pretty much take 20% reduced damage for quite some time, so you're not going to have Flash Heal, you're going to have Flash Heal, you're going to have to watch out getting kicked for that, and you still may think this is not enough. This is going to make a huge skill gap for Disc Priest. It's still going to be good, but there are going to be less players. Do I think this is good for the game? I don't know. I really don't know, because Disc Priest, it's funner whenever a class is easier. It makes people come into the game and they're like, yay! we can play this class and we can, we can get, I don't know, it's fun. They're having fun. It's not as stressful. I found Disc Priest to be the less stressful class to play in the game by far. Well, one of them, not by far. Hunters as well. That's why I played Hunter, because it was not stressful. I enjoyed it. I didn't sit there and freak out because I couldn't connect to somebody for 10 seconds because I was rude and then somebody wouldn't dispel me. And now I was casting, I'd get kicked and then I could cast on something else. Really easy to learn class. So the next thing, since they don't have Shadow Men, they used to not be able to heal off of Mind Blast from Atonement. I've asked some friends about this. I'm pretty sure that's right. And I was remembering, I was like, oh, I swear they used to not be able to heal off Mind Blast. And I asked a few friends and they said they could not. So they could not heal off of Mind Blast from Atonement. Now, Mind Blast used to have an absorption. It used to have an absorption whenever you would hit somebody. It would make it where the next 10,000 damage or so would absorb from that target. So it was really good. They took that away, which was really sad to see. But we can heal off of Atonement from it now. So if we get kicked on Flash Heal, we can still do things like Mind Games. We can Mind Blast. We can heal off of Atonement. Now, this is not as good as Shadow Mend, but it's definitely going to keep us in the game, possibly. It could definitely keep us in the game, so don't forget to do that. We can cast Shadow Tendrils, which we didn't have. Void Tendrils. We have, we have things we didn't have before, but we got things taken away. So that's what I'm kind of thinking of that. So next thing is let's go over the talents on beta that we will be running level 70. I'm not 100% sure, not 100% sure, but this is what I'm looking at so far, and I'm thinking this is going to be a pretty decent build, and that is, you're going to be able to take these talents that I'm taking right here. Let me explain them. Twilight Equilibrium and Wheel and Woe. This is for the people who are complaining about damage, and I think we'll have more damage than we know what to do with these two right here. So Sins of the Mini, we're getting increased to 30%. This is going to be big. This is going to be big for arenas. Big for arenas. Definitely big for arenas. Penance damage, 15%. We're getting a 45% damage increase in 2v2 arenas with Penance. And we're getting around, 30 to 45% in threes. That's big. That's really big. I'm not going to lie. That's big. Big, 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 big. I like it. And then this is where we get another 15% increase on Penance. The damage, Twilight Equilibrium, your damage, shadow spells increase the damage of your next holy cast spells within 6 seconds for 15%. Your damage holy spells increase the next of your shadow spells by 15%. So, what you can do is you can schism into a penance. So that schism is going to increase your damage by 15%. I didn't talk about this. Schism went from a 25% spell damage, increased your spell damage of 25% to 15%. Do I think this was a good change? Absolutely not at all. This is the worst change they've made, because, let me explain this for one reason. Holy and Discipline have some problems, as that is, Holy is supposed to be a healing spec, Shadow is a damage spec, Discipline is in the middle, so Discipline is all about doing damage to heal. We are all about damage mitigation and doing damage to heal. And Holy is doing more damage than us. And Mind Games recently got cut in half. 50% for Discipline, 25% for Holy. So we should be doing the same damage first off, because we are the damage spec with the same exact ability. We should not have to press an entire another button to equal out to the same damage with the same exact button. And then not just that, we are actually doing less damage because we're doing 15% now instead of 20%. It's kind of weird. But then again, we are getting these damage ups, so we'll really have to see. I don't want to complain about that too much because I have some more to talk about after this. We're going to be able to schism which will increase our damage by 15%. And then equilibrium will do another 15%. So really, if we add all of these things up, we're going to be doing 5% more damage than Holy with our mind games, actually. But what I find ridiculous about this is we have to cast an entire another spell before mind games. We have to cast a whole nother ability before mind games to do 5% more than Holy. I'd rather not have to cast this Schism ability and still do more damage than them because we are the damage healer. We are not a healer. We are a damage healer. So I find that a little weird. Maybe we'll have to see. I think it'll actually be better. I think I'm just complaining right now because I don't like Schism at all. I've never liked it. I've always wanted to be gone. We'll have to see though. So I think we will be doing big damn though, because it's not just about mind games. It's Schism into Penance, which is increased by 45%. Well, 60%. Penance is increased by 60% with the equilibrium and, you know, all of your other stuff in 2v2 arenas. And then after you Schism to Penance, you get Twilight Equilibrium again for shadow spells. So then you can mind games. What do you do after your mind games? Well, if you want to, you can have a Catharus, you can have Catharus built up, and then you can Catharus with holy damage. I don't know if this is actually holy or shadow, but I can't remember. You can either Catharus right after that, obviously. It doesn't matter equilibrium or not, you're gonna hit 15% of your health. Or you can smite with the Wheel and Woe, which I'm not 100% sure yet how I'm gonna want to do this because it stacks up to 7 times, making your smite 12% stronger each time. So I don't even know if I'm ever gonna really use smite until I have like 7 stacks or something higher. So I think we'll be doing big damn with Wheel and Woe, maybe bigger than we were. I gotta turn this. Alright, that sound was really annoying me. And another one is Light's Wrath. I'm not 100% sure about this yet. I tried this on the pre-patch and we were not doing any damage with it. I was hitting like 8,000 for a 1.5 minute cooldown. It really seemed pointless, but we are getting a 30% increased damage plus equilibrium. I can't say it. And all these damage buffs. So I think this might be the play. Maybe. It might be the play. Or we can do something like, instead of this, we can go Train of Thought, Blaze of Light, Wheel and Woe. But this Train of Thought, we're not going to be using our Smite. Your Smite cast reduce the cooldown of Penance. We're not going to be using them, but we'd be getting your Flash Heal and our new cast reduce the time of Power Word Shield by 1 second. But I think we would probably take Light's Wrath, and maybe even, going out of Expiation, however you say that, and going into 2 of Resplendent Light. Now, we can maybe find something to go out of to go into Wrath's Unleashed, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe this would be good. Smite deals 40% additional damage for 15 seconds after Light's Wrath. With Wheel and Woe, I don't know what we would take away though. I don't even think we can take away anything, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I really don't know if we can take away anything to get that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at with the talents so far. I'm really thinking we're gonna do big damage with these talents right here. Also, for the priest talent side, this is a side that's just gonna switch up. I don't like the talent trees because this reason. There's just so many different builds you have to have. There's so many different loadouts that you have to have for different comps. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. I just don't think I'm gonna. I've been trying to like it, but I just don't like it. I don't like how you have to choose to, learn Shadow or Death. I should have Shadow or Death as every single priest. I should have Psychic Scream. Well, that should be a talent. Well, maybe not. Maybe it should be. Improved Purify, that's kind of cool, but you know what? Just a lot of these just seem like talents that are pointless. That should be in the game. Holy Nova, yeah, should be in the game. PI, just a lot of these seem pointless. But anyways, like I was saying, there's going to be a bunch of different things where translucent image, you don't have to run this or improved fade. You know, you can run prayer mending, focus mending versus right comps with spell wording, you know, or you can, instead of Holy Nova, you don't have to run any of these three. You can run things like Void Shift, you know, you can get this and then maybe go into something else. Like there's just a talent that I don't know what to do with. So this maybe, but like I said, I have this, I'm not really going over the talents so much in this video. I have a completely different video for that. It actually goes into the talents. And there's builds like with Angelic Bulwark and Void Shift without no mind game, so you have the two big defensives like versus RMP or something, and then Power Word Life is the only talent that I'm looking at that is really like I'm not 100% sure on, because there are a lot of times where you do get out of CC and your teammates are like 20% health where you can hold Trinket and they, you know, you come out with them at 20% health. I don't know about Dragonflight if that'll be the case. Now, if Dragonflight's like that, then Power Word Life could definitely be good into a lot of things. And if it's not, then this just seems like a sketchy talent. Like, I'm not going to sit there and wait for my teammate to get to 35% health so I can use this to get max benefit out of it. Just not a chance at all. You know, so I'm not 100% sure on this one, Power Word Life. The other ones, they're all very good choices for sure. But yeah, my thoughts on Dragonflight, Disc Priest, pre-patch. We're seeming really good in rated battlegrounds, not so good in arenas. They're fixing that with all these changes. Don't like the Schism ability. I don't think it's really too good. It's just really annoying how I have to press an extra ability when I have like 5 other things to cast, when Holy on the other side is literally just, let me press this one button that makes all my offensive abilities instant cast, and then let me press Holy Fire, Holy Fire, Holy Fire, back to back to back to back. And before that, I can actually press Holy Fire, cast it, then I can Imperial Blaze, Holy Fire, Holy Fire, Holy Fire, and then cast another Holy Fire, so I can get 5 of them out in a single, you know, right then and there. Compared to Disc, where I'm just like, cast, 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 cast. Come on. It's really annoying when you're getting trained to do that. And then Holy also has a stun that's instant, that does damage. You know, has mind games as well that hits harder than Discipline without having to press anything. It's just really, 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 really frustrating to see this other spec doing that's supposed to do healing only, really do more damage and not have to press as many buttons as me. So those are my thoughts on Discipline Priest. I think it will be very good in Dragonflight. But yeah, comment down what you think, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace out.